Staying at St. Andrews, were you at all concerned that NHL scouts, as good as you might play, might kind of overlook you and kind of miss what you're capable of becoming?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of went back to St. Andrews for development. I saw their track record with guys who wanted to play in the NHL, so I didn't think that was going to be an issue. I just went back for the development. It was a great spot for me to play hockey with great education. So I mean, I didn't really notice the fact that they overlooked me. I just kind of thought it was going to be a good year for me to improve. So.
How do you think you did on any of the testing? Anything kind of think you did better on anything that you thought you would?
I mean, pull-ups. I got some long arms, so I thought I did pretty well on those.
How many did you do?
I think I got 5.
Okay. 5 more than I can do.
Yeah.
The forwards your height in the NHL are pretty rare. I mean, who do you look at in terms of how you got to project to play like when you see yourself kind of going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of Tage Thompson, so I kind of look up to him as the big, tall, skilled centerman. So I mean, I've watched a lot of his highlights. He's been a big role model for me growing up. So I mean, I like to kind of model my game after him.
Can you talk through the path of heading to BC right away and how that kind of came about?
Yeah, well, I mean, Coach Brown just kind of called me. They needed a guy, and I guess I was their guy, so I'm excited to go in. It's going to be great for me to develop there with the top end guys they have, practice against them every day. So it's going to be a good year.
Sorry, but how do you describe yourself as a player for those not familiar with you yet?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a big, tall centerman who likes to play fast. I got great speed, great hands, great shot. So I mean, I like to use my smarts to make plays. I would kind of think of myself as an offensive guy, but a 200-foot centerman as well.
Have you always been big, or when did you go through like a growth spurt?
Yeah, I've always kind of been tall. I mean, I grew about 2 inches every year. Never really had that major growth spurt.
What parts of your game do you really want to work on improving the most?
Kind of just playing to my size. I think I play a really skilled game right now, and I need to kind of work on playing to my size, getting a little stronger, and using my body a little more.
What made you want to play forward as opposed to defense? Because you see guys more your size play defense.
I mean, I like scoring goals. So I mean, that was kind of a big thing. My dad was actually defenseman, but me and my brother are both centers. Kind of weird how that worked out. But I guess we like just playing some offense.
Is your whole family tall?
Yeah, both my brothers are over 6'4". My dad's 6'4", my mom's 6 foot. So we got a tall household.
You think you're done growing?
I don't know. I measured at 6 foot. Or 6'6" at the start of the year, and I just measured at 6'6.5". So could be growing a little bit. I'm not too sure.
Is your mom the best athlete in the family?
I don't know. Pretty competitive between my mom and my dad. She was a 2-time All-Canadian basketball player, but my dad played 4 years at Dalhousie hockey too. So I don't know.
When you keep growing and growing and growing, do you have to adjust your game to your new height every time?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of just been natural for me because I've always kind of kept growing. I never really had to learn how to play to a new height. So I've always kind of been used to getting taller, and it's kind of just stuck with me. I figured it out how to play every time. So,
Tage, when you mentioned Tage Thompson, he's really, I think it took him some time, but he learned to like weaponize his reach and like have like just a wide range of shooting angles and things like that. Is that something that you've kind of looked at as being something that you could exploit?
Yeah.
With those arms that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. Funny thing with Tage, I actually saw one of his things where he cut down his stick a little bit. So I tried that too, where I can just kind of get a new range of shooting angles. I was able to pull pucks into my feet a little more. So I found that pretty helpful with my long arms. I can pull it out nice and far and bring it in nice and close. So.
How long was that process to just figure it out and get used to it? Was it easy?
Yeah, I only kind of cut my stick down a little bit, not too much, so it was pretty easy to get used to. Probably only took me a couple practices. So.
You said modeling your game after Thompson. Of course, at 6'7", everybody's going to compare you to him. And that sets the bar pretty high. Does that add any pressure? Is that unfair sometimes to be compared to such a good player?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm a competitive guy, so I like to be compared to the best players. It kind of sets me a challenge to kind of reach their level. So.
Sometimes guys that are so much bigger than the opponents tend to put on the brakes because they know that they're so physically dominant. Like you want to hurt the opponent, but not that much, I guess. Did it happen often to you? Say, oh, I'm conscious of the fact that I'm that much bigger. You want to take advantage of it, but at the same time, did you hold back at times?
I mean, sometimes I kind of had to. I would get a lot of head contact penalties just for being bigger than the other players. So in that case, I kind of had to. But when that wasn't the case, no, I didn't really think about the other guys. I kind of just was playing as hard as I could. So.
At what point did you cut down your stick? Was that during the season or?
Yeah, it was. Can't remember the exact date. Probably about November or October. So.
Did you keep it the rest of the way?
Yeah, I kept it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Playing at the level that you did it allow you to maybe experiment a little more and be able to try some things out just because of I don't know if the margins were quite as tight in the league that you were playing in.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. That's also kind of the reason I went back, was just to develop in new situations that I might not have before. So I was able to try new things and be a little more creative out there.
How many interviews did you do this week?
25 this week.
And what was the hardest question that you had to answer? Like, what was the thing that stumped you or you had to think about the most?
I don't know. They were all. I didn't really get too many questions that I got stuck on. Got a couple funny questions. One, if I was to join the Army, would I be a pilot, medic, or a sniper? So I didn't really know too much to think on that one. I chose sniper, but I guess that'd be one of them.
When you have 25 interviews, do you point to who wants to interview, or do you look at who didn't want to interview you?
I mean, I kind of just focus on the people that interviewed me. I mean, that's just a more positive way to look at it. I mean, also for the people that didn't, I mean, it's not too much to think about. I kind of just think about the positives. So.
Do you pay attention to the public lists that are available, the rankings and whatnot? Just take a peek to see where they're putting you.
Not really. I try not to focus about that stuff. It can kind of mess with your mind, so I try to stay away from that as much as possible.
Did you meet with the Sabres?
I did not. No.
Did you meet with the Penguins?
Yep.
Do you remember anything about how that?
Yeah, it was good. They watched some video. I mean, Pittsburgh was my favorite team growing up, so I was pretty happy to have that interview.
Why did you like Pittsburgh?
I mean, I was a Sidney Crosby fan ever since I was young. My buddy, they lived in Pittsburgh, so I mean, had a good reputation with them, and I just kind of liked them ever since. So.
Why did you choose a sniper?
Pardon?
Why did you choose a sniper on the Army?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of, I didn't really know too much else what to think, but it was kind of the only scenario where I could kind of have control of myself. It was me versus another guy, and I didn't want to let them kill me, so I wanted the control in my hands.
You had to justify your answer?
Yeah.
In the interview?
Yeah.
Okay. And which team was it that asked you that?
It was Nashville.
How different is your personality on ice versus off ice? You seem like a pretty nice kid. Do you have to put a game face on and be that mean big dude?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I step on the ice, I kind of switch personalities a little bit. I'm not this friendly on the ice, so.
Do you feel your size is sometimes not a burden, but that it precludes looking at the other strengths that you have, and that you get defined by it, as opposed to maybe some other things that you could do on the ice?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like a combination. Like my size and the skill that I have kind of brings in a lot of excitement. So I wouldn't really say it's a disadvantage.
What's the one thing you would like to improve the most on?
I mean, I want to obviously get a little stronger, play more to my size. I mean, I'm pretty light for being 6'7". So just playing more physical, protecting more pucks. So
What'd you weigh in at today?
I was 214.
Jack Pridham just finished doing his interview over here. What stands out to you about Jack's game after playing with him at SAC?
Yeah, I mean, his shot. He's got a pretty elite shot. So I mean, I play with him. He was on my line, and he scored from a lot of different angles that I didn't think were possible. So I mean, his shot and his skating, very, very good.
Is there anyone you try and model your game after?
I mean, yeah, Tage Thompson. So I mean, just a big, tall centerman with skill. So I try to model my game after him.
Is there anything about his game you've tried to watch and tried to apply to your own?
Yeah, his puck protection, the way he uses his size and his reach. He protects pucks. I like to play a skilled game where he plays both. So I'm trying to follow that path a little more.
And if you could steal one trait from an active NHLer and apply it to your game, could be any player, any trait, what would it be?
Probably Connor McDavid's speed. I feel like that'd be pretty cool for being my size and being able to be that fast. So
yeah. If you were a goalie, what would you paint on your mask?
I don't know. Probably be like the team I play for. maybe a couple photos of me growing up. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Did you play a lot of other sports growing up? Are you a multi-sport athlete?
Yeah, I played a lot. I played tennis for a few years, soccer all the way growing up, golf. When I got to high school, I did basketball, volleyball, ran track, so I did a fair bit.
What are you best at, would you say?
Besides hockey, probably tennis. I went to OFSA growing up, so I was a pretty good tennis player.
Okay. So basketball with your height?
No, I never really kind of thought about that one. My mom was a big basketball player, but I guess I didn't follow her footsteps.
Okay. Just got one more for you. What's the best piece of trash talk you've heard on the ice?
I didn't really get chirped too much this year.
I mean, I see why.
I have to think about that one.
Are you much of a talker out there? Are you?
Not really. I kind of just let my actions show, and if someone chirps me, I'll take their number and get after them. I don't really like to trash talk too much. But yeah, no, I didn't really get chirped too much this year actually.
Yeah.
So,
Never overheard anything between like opponents and teammates?
not really, no.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Thank you.